What is up, Planeswalkers? They're back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we're playing some sweet memes, thanks to the patron, Ox. He wanted me to play Unmoored Ego with Thousand Year Storm, with the goal being, obviously, to exile their entire deck. Now, as you can see, I'm only running 3 Unmoored Ego, and that's because it just got stuck in our hand too much. I have been through so many iterations of this freaking deck, and this isn't even all of them, right? This is not including the changes I made to these individual lists. It's been madness. This has been since the beginning of the month, and it is now, like, essentially the end of the month. But, by golly, if my $10 patrons give me a freaking deck to play, I'm playing the deck. That said, initially I was a lot heavier on the black. I tried to include things like Ritual of Soot, things like Thought Eraser. They just weren't good enough, unfortunately. I found that I was just dying way too fast against the aggressive decks. And then I saw on another Discord that I'm a part of, a Merchant's Discord, that Petrify was doing well with a list originally made by Numot the Nummy. I don't actually remember that person's actual name, but essentially I took that list and I modified it to throw in some things. I threw in some Unmoored Egos, some Discover Dispersals, and Search for Azcanta because, gosh darn it, I love it. Now, the deck is essentially just a Thousand Year Storm deck that threw in Unmoored Ego. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually really good. Pirate's Pillage is the card I was surprised most by. Essentially, it's taking place of the Brass's Bounty, except for the fact that it draws you cards as well. And since it's coming down earlier, it's a lot easier to combo with Storm. So whereas before I would have to have a really awkward setup for Thousand Year Storm into Brass's Bounty, I can a lot more easily play out the Storm, play out, an Opt into a Pirate's Pillage, and have a lot more value out of the Pirate's Pillage than I would have gotten out of the Storm. But let's actually just go through the deck in its entirety. So over here we have our sweet burn. Now, Electrostatic Field kind of does play a dual role here. First and foremost, it makes it so we die less against aggro, and I can't believe that I didn't see this when I was trying other builds of the Unmoored Ego version. But it just helps. The 0/4 body is very strong against things like Lightning Strike. Obviously, it still dies to Lava Coil or whatever the heck that card is. But it blocks really well. And if they burn it, they're not burning us, unless, of course, it's like Lava Coil. But also, it softens our opponent up a little if we do end up going the burn-win route. I will say, this deck can win with Unmoored Ego, but usually it wins with either your opponent conceding before you actually finish their combo, or them dying to burn, because, we just have an easier route to do that. Shock is great for early removal. It's also great for burning your opponent and the endgame. Same with Lightning Strike, just kind of necessary includes. Opt as a 4 of essentially just makes the deck thinner. Functionally, what Opt does is make the deck a 56 card deck. And then I saw that Numot was running Radical Idea as well. And at first when I dismissed this card, it was from a standpoint of this being a control deck, but it's not. It's a combo deck where you're trying to get specific pieces. And because of that, even though this card doesn't give you card advantage, all it does is replace itself and another card. What this allows you to do is, instead of having a 56 card deck, it functionally gives you a 52 card deck. Well, it's kind of like 50 since you get to use it twice, but still. This card is actually really strong in this specific deck. Also, the fact that Chemist's Insight is a 4-mana card, and this is a 2-mana card, it is easier to combo with Storm. And what I was finding is that I was playing way too many high-end cards, and you want most of your accelerants and your card draw spells to cost a very small amount, so that you're going to be able to get these higher payoffs out of your burn spells and your Pirate's Pillage during your combo turn. And that's one thing that I didn't realize when initially building this list. We're also running a single Anticipate. It's just, we need more card selection, so Anticipate is fine. I could theoretically run an additional Discovery, but this does go one additional card deeper, so it's also instant. So they're similar but different. And then I'm running 2 Search for Azcantas because I do like the potential mana accelerant. I like that it fixes our draws. It's just a helpful card in general in this type of deck, and I just like running it. Unmoored Ego, the reason I'm playing this deck. Ox apparently would like me to exile someone's entire deck. I haven't gotten a chance to do that. I've been able to exile plenty of people's threats. And once you exile all their threats, eventually they'll concede. Because they can't do anything. Like, even if they have responses, you've given them to a point where they can't hurt you anymore, right? They have no planeswalkers or creatures or like good enchantments left in the deck. And since you exiled a ton of their deck, they are going to mill before you. So usually they just concede. I've not gotten a chance to storm off to the point where Unmoored Ego takes everything, but I'm certain that I shall at some point. And then Expansion Explosion is either a great way to double up something like a Lightning Strike, or it can even double up Pirate's Pillage, which is really nice. Also, you could just burn your opponent. You get them soft with Electrostatic Field, some Lightning Strikes and whatnot, and then you just have enough mana to burn them to death. That's another thing that you can do. Personally, it's all about just the natural Lightning Strike storm. Discover Dispersal. I have been able to use Dispersal to my benefit once we have 1,000 Year Storm out. If we aren't able to murder our opponent, we at least are going to be able to set them back significantly, but usually this is just Surveil to draw card, and that's just helpful. Pirate's Pillage, as I talked about earlier, very strong. Even if you have to discard a card, we usually have enough, lands in hand where we can just discard that pretty much for free. And if you get like a single extra copy of this off of 1,000 Year Storm, it's mind-boggling how good this card actually is. And then 1,000 Year Storm, essentially the other half of the namesake of the deck, it allows us to storm. And storm is like a broken mechanic that is almost never going to come back, like ever. And this is our mana situation. It's fine. I have no idea how much black I should have, but I'm running six black sources. That's probably enough. I only technically have 3 true black cards, so we're going to go ahead and play in the normal ladder because this deck, even when it wins, is too slow for me to want to finish a constructed event with it. So we're just playing normal ladder, and there's no way I want to play best of 3 with this deck. It's so slow. Going up against Nochibi. Excuse me, it can be so slow. If you like just have an opponent who's just not giving a crap, you can absolutely just turn 6 1,000 Year Storm, turn 7 kill them, depending on your hand. But usually you're surviving, you're waiting till your opponent is tapped out. So this is a fine hand. It's not very good because we have so much land, but there's so much card draw in this deck that we shouldn't have too much of a problem. And turn 1 Steam Vents turns on like all of our dual lands, so we'll keep this. This is unfortunate that we're going second. That Azcanta is very nice. Hopefully our opponent does something on turn 2 so we can guarantee resolve this Azcanta. Opponent on blue-red. Electromancer. I'm sick of this darn card. Do we want to reveal that we have other colors? Nah. I'm going to play this. And we'll end up shocking their Electromancer next turn. Shock might get countered, but we don't really want this to deal a ton of damage to us, nor do we want it to give them too much discounts. And a second Electromancer. They notably did not get an additional land drop, though. So they're probably like really banking on these Electromancers. We're going to go and keep this on top. We're fine just... Is that true? Was there a reason to do that? No, I think I should just put it in the graveyard. Now that I think about it. I don't need... No, I might need the blue. So we're just going to go ahead and shock one of these. Especially while they're tapped out. Then we can anticipate end of their turn. And be pretty happy about it. Our opponent did get another land drop. Sure. See what they end up doing. They could play a Drake. Yep. I'm not surprised at all. Luckily, their Drake is not... Ah, I forgot to do the thing. We'll keep that. That's fine. I'm totally smart. I would have kept that on top anyway. Let's grab a shock here. Yeah, let's grab a shock here. And I think we're actually just going to kill this. This doesn't do anything right now. And I don't want them being able to play like a Chemist's Insight. So I'm actually fine with how that turned out. Alright, they can play Chemist's Insight or a Crackling Drake. Yep. Luckily, Crackling Drake also a 0/4. So not under too much pressure. I very well could just get in there. I'm going to graveyard that. Draw this, sure. So I can Radical Idea and probably flash another one back. Run 4, sure. So at opponent Opponent probably going to put like 2 things in the graveyard this turn, like kind of max. Electromancer is not a card that I care about. We don't have counterspells in the deck, at least not in the main board, so just let them do whatever they want. Lightning Strike me. That's incredibly rude. Alright, so they can at least get in for 2. Alright, let's go ahead and actually use this Radical Idea, shall we? Got a Discovery. Discovery is nice. We will... So I am slightly worried that our opponent's going to be playing Syncopate. Because since they have Electromancer out, they can Syncopate for X equals 1, even though they don't have an additional land. But they only have 3 cards in hand. I guess I don't want to jumpstart away my land just in case I don't actually draw another one. We're going to graveyard that one. So I did draw another land, which is nice. Do I just go for 1,000 Year Storm here? The reason you really want to is... Yeah, my opponent's reading Unmoored Ego. The reason you want to is these blue-red decks, unless they're running Blink of an Eye, it's really difficult for them to deal with it afterwards. I think it's correct to cast it now. I am worried about Syncopate for 1. But it resolves. So our opponent, most likely, not going to be able to get this off the board, unless they're running specifically Blink of an Eye. And I don't think I've seen a ton of these decks run them right now, at least. Let me get hit for 4. Sure. It hurts. I'm not going to lie. But sure. And we're going to graveyard that and transform this. And we essentially ramped, have a sweet opt here. We're going to Radical Idea into opt, I think. Because opt is a better card to have. Yes. Unfortunately, our opponent could counter some stuff. But I think this situation is fine. And what we really want to get is one of those treasure makers. If they're countering the Radical Idea, that's incorrect. I don't care too much about drawing a single card. Yeah. Okay, so we need to pay attention to what exactly we've done. So we've cast 1 spell. All right, I'm marking it down, and then we're going to opt. Yes, we're going to opt. And what we want is the Treasure Maker. So this is our 2nd spell. Don't want this. We need another one of those. We're at 7, very importantly. Bad draws. Bad draws. I guess we Discovery here? Yeah, I guess we Discovery. This is our 3rd spell. Yeah, I don't actually think that's correct. Because they're only getting rid of 1 of many. And now they can't counter something else. So I get it twice. I could keep an opt. That might be fine. Because it's cheap and I might be able to, like, shock the hell out of everything. I don't think we take another Discovery. So I could Unmoored Ego for not a ton. Instead, I'm going to opt. Lightning Strike. So that's 4. So we would have 5 copies of Lightning Strike. That's a total of 10. So we would be able to... Oh, 2, 4... Yeah, so we would be able to kill Enigma Drake. We would be able to kill their board, I mean. Don't want this. Oh, gosh. This is one of the big problems playing this deck. We don't actually get a chance to do, like, things like... Right now, our timer's running down. And, like, we're waiting on things to resolve. Right? It's kind of not fair. It's kind of very not fair. Please let me resolve this. All right, target this. So this should be my 5th thing, so I should be able to kill each of these. Cool. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we've decimated our opponent's board. And we have cards for next turn being able to go off and hopefully Unmoored Ego their entire deck. That's the plan. Ral does not do anything. Yeah, Ral does nothing. I don't care about Ral. He's tapped out. He can't do anything to me. We should theoretically win this game right now. So I think we start off with yeah, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. We go and start off with Radical Idea. Our opponent is tapped out. We literally don't care. Oh, that's nice. Then we Discovery. We don't need expansion that. Don't care, don't care. I do need to pay attention to how many cards I'm going to be drawing, though. So that was the second spell this turn. Sure, let's keep expansion on top, I guess. Okay, so I could... No, I think I have to Pillage now. And I'll discard a Watery Grave. So that was my third spell cast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have 16 cards left. If I cast this again, I'll have 2, 4, 6, 8 cards drawn. Oh gosh. I think that's probably fine. I'm playing a real close game. Right, 2, 4, 6, 8, because I'll get... Oh, it might be 10. So this is my fourth card. Fourth spell cast. Steam Vents. Submit. Resolve. Oh gosh. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to... So this is the thing, right? I am not going to be able to actually kill my opponent with Unmoored Ego because it takes too long to resolve the damn spell. So I have to do this. And, like, I'm not getting any more time. This is actual nonsense. Resolve. Just kill them. Like, look at this. This is actual nonsense. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do anything. That said, I can kill my opponent end of turn with Expansion Explosion. So, let this be a warning to you. If you want to play this deck, you have to play super fast, especially in the early game. You have no time to think. You want to try and get as many of those extra hourglasses as you can. Otherwise, stuff like that's gonna happen. Like I was casting spells the entire time, and I wasn't able to do anything. I guess we just let's see. Can we do it again? Yeah. So we just do this now for 5. I'm sorry, Ox. We're actually going to target them for both. We can't draw more cards. I'm not... this game, not going to be able to Unmoored Ego. And that's just because we weren't able to... click. Like, we're doing stuff right now. Like, I'm making mana. And it's just... counting down. And that's a problem with the timer system. And hopefully it gets addressed. Because, like, it's just no chance. If they have Ionize here, that's fine. I have another... explosion. Of course they made me discard my non-lands. Like, I guess it was random, but still. It's just stupid. Do you have a counterspell? Do you have a counterspell? Or do you not have a counterspell? Either you do or you don't, man. Cool. Syncopate. That's fine. We can just do it again on our turn. I could possibly, like, Radical Ideas and stuff, but I only have 7 cards left, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. Just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Let's go ahead and do this. 4, 5. Target you. And they're dead. Woo! Utterly ridiculous that the timer makes it so you can't play this deck as easily, right? Like, I wasn't stalling. At no point was I, like, thinking too long. I probably could have trimmed some time off here and there, but I did, like, my actual best. And, I ran out of time. I couldn't do what the deck was made to do because the timer is bad. Up against Schwag. Oh, my opponent's name is Schwag. We're going second, which is never great. This hand is a little land heavy, but we have some sweet ops. We have some sweet shocks. See, and red, is it burn? Okay, it's an aggro deck. I kind of would rather it be an aggro deck. Do I want to turn one opt or turn one shock? Honestly, I think I want to turn one shock. So I think we just go with this and pass. Just because they're probably going to play something on 2 that I want to kill. Probably. Hey, look, it's a thing that I want to kill on 2, so. They're going to hit me for 1, hit me for 2. Down to what, 15? No, I can't do basic math. Down to 16. Go ahead and shock this. It's coming up turn. I have opt in, nothing else. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and play the Steam Vent tapped. Unfortunate that we've drawn land. Oh no, I forgot I needed a blue. Oh. It shouldn't matter. Keyword shouldn't. Ow. Hey, look, it's a shock. I'm going to go ahead and shock this now while I can. Of note, my opponent is missing some mana, so we can go into Sulfur Falls. And I think we're actually just going to opt now. Right idea is find a shove in the graveyard. Oh, right, this is not that. No, I think we need just like actual action, like an electrostatic field or a. Well, land is not what we want, but we do have Pillage next turn. Just get rid of this steam vents. Luckily, our opponent has slowed somewhat, especially since they're stuck on 2 mana. Ow, that hurt. That was actually painful. So I'll go and play the Catacombs, and we're just going to Pillage here. We just need, like, actual gas. Wow, that's almost the furthest from gas I could have gotten. Really bad land flood in this game. It's unfortunate. Really painful, too. Jeez. Calm down. Our opponent, it looks like our opponent had a spectacular hand, and we didn't. I don't think there's like a single thing I can do here. Like, there's no way my opponent doesn't have more burn. So I need to draw 2 burn spells. That isn't 2 burn spells. But I guess we Pillage again. Get rid of the steam vents. Yeah, this is a bad draw. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess we try, but at this point we're using so many resources to not die that it's almost certain that we're not gonna live. Yeah, I mean, we have to top deck blind shock. Nope. It's unfortunate. Doesn't mean we get to play a 3rd game though. That's always nice. I expected this. Why did I lose so much? I did expect this deck to only have 2 games because of how slow it sometimes is. But going into a 3rd game, hopefully our hand is not as bad as it was that game, or our opponent's hand is not as good as it was that one. Triple Wizard's Lightning is pretty darn good. Going against Torback. The ranking feels like super wrong. I see people who play it constantly and they're still only in like low silver. This is not great, but it's fine, especially since we're going first and we have double opt. So we're going to keep it. And we're going to play a turn 1 Island so that we can do that sweet opting on turn 1. And the next turn we can tap the Watery Grave or play it tapped and then opt again. More red-blue. Stop with the mirror matches, Wizards. We don't want your stinking mirror matches. I'm actually going to play that on turn 2 so that I have access to red mana the following turn. Let's see if this is an Electromancer or something else. Nope, just another tapped land. I hope my opponent is not super new. I should not be matched up against super new players. New players with good decks, that's fine. But my opponent has played 2 tap lands. We're actually going to keep that on top, I think. We do want to get up to 6 mana. was a little antsy from the flood last game. So here I can hold up Anticipate and Shock. Their opponent does nothing. Yeah, I mean, not only are they playing 2 tap lands, they're playing 2 different tap lands. So I don't think my opponent is likely to have a strong deck. That's not saying that my opponent has a weak deck, but the chances that they have a strong deck, I think, are relatively low. And here, I think we're just going to take Field. Oh, but 1,000 Year Storm though. We'll take Storm. I do need to be careful. And still, you know, play my Storm at an appropriate time. I'm not going to throw it out wildly when my opponent is untapped. So here I do have some nice removal options if my opponent does play something here. No, we're both just doing a whole hell of a lot of nothing. That is fine with me. I will have 6 mana next turn, but very unlikely to cast the Storm, unless of course they play Crackling Drake or something. I always want to say Cackling. Or Ral, sure. Possibly one of the reasons why my opponent is facing up against me. Can't double Lightning Strike, and frankly, I don't think I want to use all of my burn on Ral.
Time to choose.
So, discard a land. Yeah, I don't think I care about using any burn on Ral. I'm gonna go ahead and 1,000 Year Storm here. As I said, very unlikely these blue-red decks can necessarily get rid of an enchantment. My opponent could be playing Disperse. I believe that's legal in the format. Could be playing Blink of an Eye. But in general, they tend not to play these cards.
Choose wisely, because the other one's going bye-bye.
That doesn't sound like Ral's voice to me. I don't know why. Ral just sounds like he's an annoying word that YouTube might demonetize me for. Okay, now we get to start doing some fun stuff. I have a decent amount of land. So we always start off with Shock. We'll Shock the Ral. So that was 1 spell. For those of you who aren't sure, I have a piece of paper next to me. So we Shock there. Then I think we Lightning Strike Ral. The problem is... Oh, wait, no. We're going to get Pillage anyway, because it copies regardless. So that's a 2nd spell. So even if they counter one of our Pillages, we're going to get the other 2. There. So Ral should be dead.
You're good. Not as good as me. Come on.
Right, then Pillage. And luckily, it's an additional cast. Or it's an additional cost to cast. So we only have to discard 1 spell. So it looks like they're probably going to counter this. So we're only going to get 2 Pirates Pillages, which is actually unfortunate. Yeah, I don't care. Because we want as many, like, treasures as we can get. Like, treasure is really what we're looking at. Ooh, that's kind of awful. That said, we did cast 3 spells, so we're going to go ahead and opt here. Do we Shock? Do we Shock or do we opt? That's a good question. If we Shock, we can't actually kill this completely anyway, and we're also not under a ton of pressure, so I think I would rather just set up my next turn. I don't think we're going to be able to go off this turn, unfortunately. So I think we just set up this coming up turn. And that was our 4th spell for what it's worth. Just gotta stay on top of that. I wish there was some sort of Storm counter. It's an Unmoored Ego. We'll take an opt for next turn. I do think it's correct to just wait until next turn. We're not under enough pressure for me to care too much. God, what is up with this mana? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just going to pass the turn, I think. Get rid of Watery Grave. Cool. Yeah, so next turn we're actually going to have to, like, cast real fast. Because especially since we didn't get the additional thing. I think it's ridiculous, the way the turn timer works right now. Like, it still somehow allows people to rope for an unnecessarily long amount of time. And people like me, who want to play the darn game, have, like, no time to do so. So I think we Shock first. Because we want more draws? Yeah. Let's Shock this. And so that was 1 spell. Really need to go faster. I mean, our opponent probably has more counterspells, but I think that's fine. We'll opt. It's 2 spells. I don't think we need another ego. I hope this, like, I hope right now, like, choosing on the opt, like, while we're waiting to draw a card and stuff, I hope that doesn't actually take up time. Because if so, that'd be fracking ridiculous. I'm going to discard this. And we're going to go ahead and cast this on this. I've absolutely lost track of how many we get. I think we've cast 4 spells this turn. This is nonsense. So I'm fairly certain we've only cast 4 spells. Oh, God. Do I not even have access to my turn timer? Like, do I not know how long it's going to take? Like, this is stupid. Shock you. Like, I hear the drums. Does everyone else hear that? I used a timeout? They used a timeout? What? Sure. I have too many lands. I think that was our 5th spell. We have 2 Unmoored Egos, right? Yeah. Come on. So those are 6th spell. I guess we'll name Ral for the first one. Oh, this is ridiculous. Ral. Okay, Niv Mizzet will be the next one. But look at this. We have like so little time. Niv Mizzet. Why is it not here? Niv. Oh gosh. I'm like barely getting time. Shock is next. Come on. Oh god, are you serious? This is ridiculous. Ox, look what you've done. Right, that's 4. I guess we'll do Crackling Drake next. Back. Crack. Then we'll do Lightning Strike. Back. Lightning Strike. Boop. Oh, come on. I'm not in love with the way this is doing that. I guess next up we'll do Chemist's Insight. Let's see. Chem. What is this? Yeah, Chemist's Insight. How do I get it to autocomplete that? There we go. Oh god. I don't actually think I'm gonna be able to do this. But I'm trying it for all of you. I'm playing this nonsense deck so none of you have to. Yeah, resolve. I have to move my mic just so that I can type easier. How is that going down right now? That's ridiculous. Essence Scatter. Come on. Then we'll do Syncopate. Sync. Oh, God. Island. Done. No! Ah! And they discarded like all of our good cards again. What the hell? That's ridiculous. I have like actually no good cards in my hand right now. And I wasn't able to get rid of Disdainful Stroke. That's so stupid. I guess. Well, I have access to that though. Let's draw some cards. Just resolve it, you stupid game. If I sound worse, I move my mic. This is ridiculous. This is a cautionary tale. I guess I should have just cast the other 1,000-Year Storm or something. Oh yeah, because they're going to counter this. Yeah, no, I should have did this actually. So I think they're going to counter it. Yeah, I should have actually done this first. Let's do this. So next turn, hopefully we'll be able to kill them with Explosion. I've gotten rid of, like, almost everything I need to worry about. I think. Can I draw a good card? Graveyard. Transform. Oh, look, it's a radical idea. Okay. I'm going to cast this. Can I still... How much do I have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I need to do 14? No, I don't. So I don't have enough for that, right? We'll draw a card. Because then we at least get a copy of it, right? So X equals... Or X needs to equal 10. I think we can do this again. No, then it would equal less. But we would have more storm trigger, so I think it's actually fine. I think it's better to do explosion for a lower amount. We're putting fewer eggs into the same basket. Oh right, I can play a land, which means I'm actually gonna do this, I guess. I don't care about card draw. I just want to gain more on the actual spell. Yeah, cool, awesome. I'm so glad that I'm technically taking too long. And we're gonna lightning strike their face. Not how we drew it up, but kind of had to do that because the timer in this game hates combo players, apparently. Oh my goodness. Well, we won 2 of the games, and we won them in cool ways, in my opinion. And then the one game we lost, we drew really poorly. So that was cool. Ox, I hope this is sufficient because I'm probably never playing that nonsense again until if of course, a patron tells me to. Speaking of patrons, I would really like to thank Easy Mode, DizzyFam, Radberry, Kyoshin, especially Ox for this nonsense deck, Daniel, Flowerchild, Chow, 083, Zaraga, and Madcause Bad for their support over on Patreon. Their support allows me to play just the worst decks. If you'd like to join them, supporting the channel over on Patreon, the link for that are in the description below. I really hope you guys like this this episode. If you did, go ahead and tap that like button, add a subscription to Mana Pool, and cast a comment in the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one just nonsense game.